Fayon. One of the things we want to talk about today is the issue of kidnapping that has become a lucrative business in Nigeria. It seems like these kidnappers believe that they can get a lot of money by kidnapping people. And so we want to talk about this today because it's becoming a real issue. On August 4, 4 foreigners were kidnapped that were working for the Dutch oil company. And August 27th, the soldiers were able to, August 26th, soldiers were able to save like 27 oil workers that were kidnapped. So this has been going on for such a quite a long time. But lately there has been a shift in the way these kidnappers are operating. It looks like they're now targeting high-profile people. Like recently, they kidnapped the president of Isoko Development Union, that's Mr. Gregory Akpojene, and they also kidnapped the son of the secretary to the Delta State government. The most recent one is the Delta State Commissioner for Higher Education, Mr. Hope Heganga, that was kidnapped. So today we'd like to talk about why is it that this is becoming such a reoccurrence that is happening every day, and we'd like to know what's the motive behind abducting people and what exactly these kidnappers want. And to talk to me today about that is Comrade Yembra from Warri, and he is the Executive Director of the Campaign for African Progress. He himself said he was almost kidnapped. Comrade Yembra, welcome to Sahara TV.
Thank you very much.
Comrade, let's start from your story. You said that you were almost kidnapped. Can you tell us exactly what happened?
Yes, on two occasions. The first one, there are many reasons why people kidnap. Not all kidnap for the purpose of money. For some do so for political reasons.
Okay, we'll come back to the reasons, but if you can just tell me what happened and then we'll go from there.
Okay, there were two aborted kidnap attempts. The first one was from a neighbor I had a misunderstanding with. And it comes from the area where kidnapping is rampant. In short, where it started from. That's his ethnic nationality. So it comes from the area. So it knows easily people who can do such job. So I have a misunderstanding with him. When I measured my house one evening, I saw two men emerge from his house. And something immediately told me to be watchful that these two people are up for something. So I stood and waited in front of my house, a story building. They now came down and went in front of the next building. So I was hoping they would emerge at the road. They didn't emerge. So I now came down to try and find out where they are. When I came, I saw them sitting in a pickup vehicle. As they saw me, they now started the vehicle. That's the confirmation. At the time confirmation, I was able to predict that they will go the direction I want to go, because I was going to buy fuel, since we have power challenges in Nigeria. They went in the same direction, and when at the point, they now parked in front, so that they can have a clear view of me coming. When they now saw me coming, they moved on. So I now confirmed that these were kidnappers, and they were sponsored by this neighbor. So I now have to branch a corner and sat down. So they reversed back, came looking for me. They could not find me. They went to call back their sponsor to come and help trace me. So when I now returned back home, I then go back to the filling station. When I returned home, I now complained to one neighbor, and look what happened. He now told me the sponsor just passed with two other people. So in the evening, I sent him a text message questioning why at all he should try and kidnap me. He did not respond for 5 days. He ran away. He ran away. He left his wife in the house and children. He ran away for 5 days. But after then, he now came back and tried to ask whether I think he could do such a thing. So I forgive him anyway because, hello? And he ran away because I told him I've already reported to the police, my neighbors and relatives. So after 5 days, he came back and asked me whether I think he could do such a thing. I knew already what he was trying to do, but I thank God I was smart enough to foil it. That's
a good news. Keep going.
Yeah, then there was a second instance. The second instance was this one is politically motivated. Okay. The president of Nigeria is from the Shah ethnic nationality, and we had their neighbors with the Robos. So during the Niger Delta struggle, we struggled with them. I was stood firmly. All their successes were. I was the instrument of their successes. And when the federal government to declare a war against them, I stood up to a demand for the amnesty. That's an international community to pressure the president to grant them amnesty instead of to do battle with them. So on that ground, they granted them amnesty. So then when the present president was vice president then, when our president was ill in Saudi Arabia, there was nobody to govern the country because he was able to issue a directive to the National Assembly that is on leave the the vice president should act. So we had that problem in Nigeria. We had political instability. Nobody knew what was going to happen. Even the military, they could have taken over. I was the one that now brought the formula they used from the Constitution to doctrine of necessity, to swearing the president. I've done a lot for them, but they refused to do anything to promote me. So I started criticizing them. So one day I received a telephone call from a lady claiming to know me. So when I asked her she is, she told me she was near close to the water side. And I asked her her ethnic nationality. It was with that of the president, people in that area who were involved in the Niger Delta crisis before, including the kidnapping and all that. So when I eventually met her, I didn't know her. And I wondered how she got my number. Then as we were discussing, she now stepped aside to answer a telephone call. My spirit now told me that she is now communicating with the kidnappers on how to get me. So I now told her that I didn't know her from Adam and Eve, that I'm going. So I left her. Later I confirmed that it was directed from the presidency. The president may not be privy to it, but those working under him will feel that, why is this man giving the president sleepless night to the criticisms? He's threatening our jobs. Things like that can become overzealous. And that was how that one went. I was to be taken away with a flying boat, yes, to the creek.
Okay, so...
And then to the house, yes. So in my both cases, we're not out of money. But there are many cases that are out of money. Maybe if you ask the questions, we can go into that.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you why you think that, what's the motivation, you know, behind kidnapping people? You're saying that it's not just about money. Can you enlighten us? The other reasons why they kidnap people?
Some of them are for money, some are politically motivated. Like, for example, in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, during the 2011 election, somebody was kidnapped for trying to contest elections in that locality when he's from another locality. So go from original for that locality, not taking lightly, they kidnapped him. And they're shocking him until after the elections. So that's political purpose. You understand? So people can also kidnap their political adversary, or their children and their wives. It happens in many cases. So it's not only for money, they do that to settle scores as well. Political, economic, social, and otherwise.
I see.
But the one that is most worrying is the one they kidnapped to demand for ransom.
Yeah. But why do you think that you were a target?
Why I thought I'm a target? I do the critical things in this country. I'm the one pointing direction for this country. You understand? When the country is to progress, they always look onto me to bring out solutions. So, but when people I'm helping and not promoting, I start criticizing them, and they feel they could lose power out of my criticisms. That could make me a target.
I didn't understand. You said you're the one directing the...
Pointing directions for this country.
In which way?
In every ramification, we want to count the things I've done for you. I told you that the nation was to go into civil war in the Niger Delta. I was the one that pushed for the amnesty. I told you again that democracy was about to collapse. There was nobody leading the country constitutionally. I had to intervene again.
And how?
There are many instances.
How did you intervene at the time?
I realized that when the law is not, I'm not a lawyer anyway, but I'm gifted. When it comes to the constitution of the country, I'm the one that always stands firm. But the lawyers, they don't say anything because they feel that those things do not bring their money, so they don't go into it. But I like to go into it to help the country, especially international law and all that, comparative jurisprudence. So
I see.
I have been involved, yes. I've been involved in a lot of national issues. When I say I'm the one pointing direction, though the most things that are done in the country, I'm the one that always push that they should do these things. Certain things they do that is not proper, always try to stop them. Like in the case of the gay marriage issue, the presidency was already on a conflict, a part of conflict with the West. I have to intervene and explain to the president that under international law and even this constitution, people should not be discriminated against.
All right.
Can
I just ask you briefly, how can people prevent being kidnapped? What should we look out for? Like the people that are listening right now, maybe they are living in areas where kidnapping is very common. What are the signs that you're about to be kidnapped, or what should people look for in order to avoid being kidnapped?
One thing they should do is to avoid ostentatious living. The kidnappers are out. They are looking out for people who have enough money to give them for ransom. So if you don't display your wealth, nobody will know you have so much money. And in some cases, they trace all these things through the bank through your account. People working in the bank and connect with the kidnappers and give them your address and all those information you pass through when you open an account.
Wow.
That will enable them to get you. That one is very, very difficult to. I don't know where you should hide your money.
Yeah.
But that is one aspect.
How can the government help? What is it that the government has not done, you know, that could prevent this kidnapping? What is the government supposed to do?
That is where I come in. That is where I come in. The kind of politics that is played in this country is the principal problem. They have a flawed understanding of what governance is all about. The politicians, they believe what they should do is to build infrastructure. And through building infrastructure, that is where they make their money. Money doesn't go to the people. After building the infrastructure, through corruption, through corruption, most of the money, public funds are stolen. And there are no opportunities are created for the people, no economic opportunities are created. They always believe that foreign investors, they always believe that it is to create enabling environment, then foreign investors will come. And these things are not happening. Infrastructure are in decay. Foreign investors are not coming, so things continue to get worse. The rich continue to get richer, and the poor continue to get poorer.
So like the security officers need to step up their game, you know, all those things. Like we need to.
Those are rhetorics. Those are rhetorics you always hear. Those are the rhetorics you always say. The policy makers, the legislator, that's what they always ask. That they should step up the security. They should strengthen security. If that's not the only. I mean, I believe that it is interplay of resources of politics, economics, and sociology that aggregates to national security.
Yeah.
You understand? So when the purpose of having politics is to be able to build a good economy.
Yes.
So through the economy that people will not get their social well-being. But this is not the case. There is a dislocation here. There are no opportunities. Only few people just grab the money.
Yeah. Comrade, sorry to interrupt you, but I have just one more minute. It looks to me from your comments that you don't really like what the present administration is doing. What happened? It looks like you used to support the government, listening to you. Why did you change your position?
Why I changed my position is that they are certain, they don't want to give they are afraid. Somebody predicted that somebody will come out in 2015 and change the country and bring pride to the nation. They have identified I'm the one, so they are trying, in spite of all the things I've done for the country. If I want the things I've done in Nigeria, if they are done outside Jerusalem, I'll have been celebrated by now. But instead, I'm not celebrated. I'm being intimidated. I'm being embarrassed.
Actually, it looks like you're getting my question wrong. I'm not talking about in terms of their relationship with you. I'm saying, what is it that you don't agree with in the way this government is operating?
Okay, the things I don't agree in is that they don't have. I told you that they have a wild idea of how governance should be run. When the purpose of seeking political office is to, I mean, it is the politics that governs the economy, and it's the economy that governs the social well-being of the people. So they are unable to properly organize the economy. In some states in Nigeria, in some states in Nigeria here, 90% of the money are used for overhead costs, supplies and paying of salaries of civil servants. So you have only 10% left for development, which is not enough.
All right.
So I don't have any idea about organizing the economy.
I see. All right. Thank you so much, Comrade, for sharing your thoughts with us today about kidnapping in the present administration. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having me. You're always welcome.
Yeah. All right, viewers, that has been Comrade Samuel Yembra from Warri. The Executive Director of the Campaign for African Progress. He's spoken to us about kidnapping in the present administration. So we have more coming up. We'll be talking about the new museum that is built in honor of the late Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.